Hello, welcome everyone. My name is Maggie Ray, and I am the program coordinator of English for Academic Purposes, and this is my colleague.
Hi, I'm Corey Minch. I'm the workload and timetable coordinator in EAP, and we're both instructors.
Yes. So we are going to introduce our program to you today virtually through a PowerPoint presentation, which you will also have access to as a PDF file. All right, so I'm going to share our screen here. Okay. So welcome to our department presentation for Explore Capilano. First of all, why would you choose English for academic purposes at Capilano University? So we have all of these levels, starting with 050, which is a lower intermediate level, and we go all the way up to a 100 level, which is a first year program level. So we have all these different levels. Our lower levels, 050 until 080, they are all 20 hours per week of classes, daytime classes. And then our last two levels, you start taking some academic courses, some 100 level university courses. And at the 090 level, you take one course. It's optional. You don't have to take it if it feels like too much. And at the top level, you can take two courses. So a little bit more on that. Our top level is actually two courses together, 12 hours a week. Our 090 course is 16 hours a week. Once you finish both of these, EAP 100 and EAP 101, you gain direct entrance into the program you want to take in arts and science or business. So Corey's going to talk to you about the schedule.
Okay, so our EAP class schedule is different depending on the level that you're in. So in the 050, 060, 70, and 80 levels, which are 20 hours per week, classes usually meet 4 or 5 days per week. And the average number of hours per day is about 4, but it can be as few as 3 hours or as many as 6 hours per day. At the 090 level, you're meeting for class 16 hours a week. And again, usually the class schedule is 4 or 5 days per week, usually 4. And the number of hours per day is also 3 to 6, but normally, probably average of 4 or 5. And then at the 100, 101 level, because it's fewer hours, it's only 12 hours per week, you will probably only meet 4 days a week, and the number of hours per day of class is usually around 3 hours.
So Corey's going to also talk to you about this.
So when you're in a level in EAP, your grades are important, and it's important to know that to finish a level and move to the next level, you usually need to get a final total grade of B, or 73%. So keeping in mind that each level in our program is 1 term, or about 4 months. So after a 4-month period of studying, usually you need a B or 73% to move into the next level. The only difference is for the EAP 100 and 101 level, the top level, our highest level, to finish that successfully and move into full-time academic work, we ask that you finish the term in both courses with a final grade of B+ or 77%.
Okay, so looking at the plus, EAP plus program a little bit more. This is our top 2 levels. So again, the 090, 16 hours a week. You're taking one academic course and it's optional. And for the 100, 101, they're co-requisites, usually taken together. You take 1 or 2 academic courses. Again, that is optional to take those. Corey's going to talk to you about the pathways.
Okay, so another part of our program is what we call pathways. And so pathways are really ways of putting courses together to help you get credits toward a specific program. So the 2 pathways that we have right now that are running are pathway for early childhood education students, and then another one for business students. So this slide is showing the early childhood education pathway. And it's the same as really the EAP Plus programs, but we actually tell you which courses that you take with EAP. So with the pathways, we start in the fall term at the 090 level. So to start the pathway, you need to take a test that puts you into the 090 level. And with that course in the fall term, you're taking one required education ECCE course called Education 178. And then you move into the spring term and the second term of the pathway. So just like all EAP students at this level, you're taking EAP 100 and EAP 101. But then there are 2 required courses that you take at the same time: English 100, which is required for almost all students at the university, and then another ECCE course, which is Education 173. And the important thing to know about the pathway is that the EAP teachers work with the teachers in the other courses. So for example, at the 090 level, the teacher who's teaching the EAP course will work with the education ECCE teacher in the Education 178 course to help you understand the assignments in that course, just to help you be successful. The same is true in the spring term with EAP 100, 101, and English 100. Another important part of the pathways is that the students in all of the courses are all part of the pathways. So every student in the class is planning to do early childhood education. And there are no other students in any of the classes. So it's just one group, the same students who really get to know each other and create a really close community of helping each other through the pathway. Once you finish the ECCE pathway in the second term, you will be admitted to the ECCE diploma or degree, depending on which one you would like to start. And of course, this also requires that you finish EAP 100 and 101 with the required grade, which is a B+ of 77%. The other pathway I talked about is the business pathway, and this is really similar to what we've seen already. So students start in the fall term at the 090 level. They continue in the spring term in the 100 and 101 level. However, the courses that are part of the business pathway, the required academic courses, are laid out here. So normally in the fall term, it's 2 business courses: business computing and business management. And in the spring term, it's English 100 and business math, or sometimes it's organizational behavior. So these are business courses that are part of the pathway. Again, there's English 100. And like the ECCE pathway, it's the same way of doing things. The courses that are paired up with EAP are courses which in which the teachers are working together. So the EAP instructor is working with the business instructor to help you get through the assignments and understand the assignments. This is also the same with the English 100 course, again, that's required for almost all students at Capilano. And again, like ECC, when you finish the top level with a B+, you can get automatic admission into business administration. And the great thing about the pathways is that when you finish the pathway, you have many credits already completed toward your ECCE or business program. And so that means that you will probably be finishing that program a bit earlier than normal. So it's a good way to get credits and try to complete your program.
All right. So the next thing we're going to talk to you about is our experiential learning or community engagement program, which we've been running for around 10 years. And and in this program, you are doing lots of activities outside your classroom that actually count for grades as part of your listening, speaking parts of your courses. So you're doing volunteer work in the community, you're attending workshops on campus, going to lectures, you might be assisting with an event that's in the community. For example, the picture we have above here is the Heart and Stroke Foundation, and this was a fundraiser where we all rode a big bicycle and rode around North Vancouver, which was good fun. You'll see Corey on there. He's right there. So all sorts of different activities on campus, off campus, where you meet native speakers of English, you engage with them, and you do something positive for your community through experience, through experiential learning. Okay, Corey's going to talk to you about English language support.
Okay, so another way that our department, EAP, supports students is through a service called English language support. And there are 3 parts to English language support. So the first part is one-on-one academic support. And so for this part, this is instructors in ELS who are EAP instructors meeting with students one-on-one for 30-minute appointments for help and guidance in their academic courses. So this is useful for you as an EAP student, especially if you're in EAP 090 or 100 and 101, and you're taking academic courses with EAP. You can make an appointment with an instructor in ELS to work on assignments, get help with academic reading, practice presentations, practice pronunciation. Also, as an EAP student, you can work with ELS one-on-one appointments with instructors to get help in different language areas like pronunciation, for example, or help with a grammar point. Okay, another part of this is, okay, so that's the one-on-one support. And then the second part is the ELS workshops. So each term of the academic year, our ELS faculty provide workshops for the whole campus, but this can also include you as an EAP student to learn about different important academic topics that can help you in your courses. So some examples here you can see on the screen are pronunciation, speaking, debate, presentations, grammar, write a specific way of writing, or a specific writing topic, and topics that are really important like plagiarism. The other third part of English language support is the peer language mentors. So these are students at the university who are helping out with ELS and work with other students that are participating in ELS to get you to participate in activities that we provide. So these are conversation times such as the English Chat Cafe. And at the Chat Cafe, we can have guests, we have potluck parties where people bring food. Often it's fun and games with music. These happen during Thursday lunchtimes, and this is just a place where you can come practice English, meet new people, meet other EAP students, but also meet other students from around the campus. And this is just to see what I'm talking about here is the picture of one of the chat cafes. And this was a typical Thursday. And I was just at one of these events last Thursday. It was very much like this. We played a lot of really fun games that really helped everyone practice English.
And just a pitch for our Explorer Capilano, Rochelle Jorgensen, who runs the Chat Cafe, she is actually going to be running some of these activities during our live Explorer event on November 19th between 12:30 and 2:30. So keep looking at our website, the Explorer Capilano website, for details on where to go for that. There's also special events that ELS runs through the Chat Cafe. This is an example of one celebrating cultural diversity. It was an international potluck with music, dance, and activities, and we believe there's going to be another one of these this fall, so keep posted for that. All right, Corey's going to talk to you about how to become a student in EAP.
Okay, so to begin your journey through our program, the first step to become an EAP student is to apply. And this means going to the Apply BC website and filling out the application with the application fee of $50. Often, one part of the application is high school transcripts. So it's really important to, if you can, send those transcripts on the Apply BC website. If you don't have high school transcripts or you cannot get them easily, don't worry, because we can also work with that. If you don't have high school transcripts, you can still become an EAP student. So once you apply, you'll get a response about your application, and then we will invite you for a test or ask you for test scores. So one way to, and I should say the reason for this is we need to know which level of EAP you'll be starting in. So these tests give us that information. So there are many ways to test. There are many tests possible. So we have IELTS, TOEFL, CALE, PTE. But the other possibility is that you can take our own placement test in EAP. And for that, we have a website where you can choose a test date and then come in and take our 3-hour test. Okay, after you test, we'll know your level. We're going to let you know your level, and then we're going to ask you to register for classes. So if you're in the 090 or 100, 101, we'll ask you to do an online registration. For lower levels, we'll ask you through email to fill out a form and send it back to us, and then we'll get you registered in the class. And then it's important to pay. So the payment for the beginning of the spring term, which starts in January 4th, the payment, the tuition and fee payment is due by December 19th. Okay, as I was saying, we accept many tests. So one is our English placement test that we have in EAP. That's a paper and pencil test. You can schedule your date for that. We have other tests such as IELTS, TOEFL, Duolingo, ELA, CALE, and PTE. So all of these tests are possible to take so that we can get an idea of your level.
And this information is on the EAP webpage on the Capilano website. If you want the details, just go to the Capilano website and do a search EAP, and you'll be able to find information on the placement tests right there, the most up-to-date information.
Okay, so just kind of going over the dates for spring term 2023. So as I said, once you register for classes, the fee payment deadline is December 19th. And so it's important to pay your tuition and fees before that. The first day of classes is January 4th, starting at 8:30 a.m. Then we have an important time call. It's a 2-week period called the add drop period. So this is from January 4th through the 17th. And this is a time when students kind of get a feeling for their classes. If we feel that a student has been put in the wrong level, we might change the level after we talk with you. Or if a student does not want to continue in EAP, this is the time when you can still get a refund, 80% refund. After that, there's no refund. So this is a really important time period. For the spring term, there are holidays. February 20th is Family Day. April 7th through 10th is Easter. So those are days we don't have class. And the last possible day of class is April 11th. But talk with your instructor for more information because the last day of class can be different for different levels of EAP. An important question is about tuition and fees. So it's important to understand the difference. So tuition is the amount of money students pay for courses, for registration. Fees are money that students pay to support services at the university, such as technology, student health insurance, other things like that. So for Canadian citizens and permanent residents, you do pay university fees, Capilano University fees, but you do not pay for tuition. However, if you're a Canadian citizen or permanent resident taking the top level of EAP, so EAP 100 and 101, you will be charged both tuition and fees. And so if you're wondering how much that might be, you can see on the right side for the 0 level, 050 through 090, the total is between $900 and $1,100 per term. So that's for the whole 4-month period of a term. And for EAP 100, 101, because you would be paying tuition in addition to the fees, it's a bit more expensive. It's $2,000 to $2,300. As an international student, you pay both tuition and fees. So the cost is there, $8,500 to $10,500 for the lower levels of EAP, and then about $6,600 for 100 and 101.
All right. So the last thing we want to leave with you is that we're working on some new pathways for domestic students. So the early childhood pathway, Corey already talked to you about that, and it's very similar for domestic students, except there will be a preparatory term this summer to get you ready for the fall and spring of 2023, 24. But for HCA, that is brand new. So HCA means healthcare assistant. And there's going to be a program that you will be eligible to join of HCA starting next fall. But again, there's a preparatory term this summer for EAP students to get you ready in terms of your language level and even content for the healthcare assistant program that you would be conditionally accepted to once you enter the pathway. Corey, did you want to add anything else to that as our convener?
I'm just really excited about these because this is a very good way for permanent residents and citizens to get into the field of healthcare assistant and early childhood education. We know that that most of this is covered. The tuition and fees are covered, so there's no payment for those for the program. And so that's really good. And you know, it's important that you have academic support and help and information so that you can be successful in these programs when you're a full-time student in them. So the pathways are a really great way to make sure that you are successful in completing these program areas.
Yeah, and just to clarify, the EAP is free, as it is for domestic students anyway. But the big difference here is also the specialized support you get, but also the HCA program is free, as well as the early childhood education courses that you're taking with the pathway. So more information, more details on that coming soon as we roll this out, get it ready for January. So if you have any questions, please do contact us. This is how you find us. You can find us by emailing us, of course, but you can also find us on Instagram, on Facebook, and but you're very welcome to email us at eap@capilano.ca. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful fall, and we look forward to teaching you during our spring term starting January 2023.
Thank you.